Welcome to G Fun Facts Online, where we dive into the fascinating trends shaping our world. Today, we're talking about something you might not have noticed, but it's happening in cities all across the nation: a strange and unsettling silence. The sound of a bustling schoolyard, the laughter and chatter of children, is fading. This is the empty school crisis, and it's about much more than just empty desks. It's a story about the changing face of our cities, and it has huge consequences for everyone. So, where did all the students go? At its core, this is a story of shifting demographics. In many major urban areas, the number of school-aged children is dropping, even while the overall population might be growing. Take Boston, for example. Between 1980 and 2022, the city's population grew by 24%, but the number of kids aged 5 to 17 fell by a massive 29%. This isn't happening for just one reason. First, there's a nationwide decline in birth rates, which means fewer children entering the system to begin with. Then there's the staggering cost of living in many cities. Soaring housing prices are pushing families, especially middle and high-income ones, out to more affordable suburbs, often right around the time their kids are ready for kindergarten. On top of that, we have the rise of school choice. More families than ever are choosing charter schools, private schools, homeschooling, or even virtual learning. The pandemic really accelerated this trend, as many parents got a first-hand look at different educational models. Finally, even shifts in historical immigration patterns, which once boosted city school populations, can contribute to the decline. When a school's enrollment dips too low, the district often decides it's no longer financially viable to keep it open. This decision to close a school creates a domino effect that ripples through the entire community. The students hit hardest are usually from low-income families and communities of color. They get transferred to other schools that aren't necessarily better academically. Worse, sometimes these new schools are in rival gang territories, creating serious safety concerns. Studies show these displaced students can suffer from lower attendance, worse academic results, and are even less likely to graduate from college or find a job later in life. But it's not just the students. Schools are often the beating heart of a neighborhood. When one closes, it can feel like a sign of community decay, pushing more families to leave and hurting local businesses that rely on them. And for the school district, closing a school isn't a simple money saver. There are costs to move students and staff, and the receiving schools need resources to handle the new arrivals. Plus, since school funding is tied to enrollment, fewer students means less money, creating a vicious cycle of budget cuts that hurts the quality of education for everyone left in the district. This leads us to a crucial point about equity. The burden of the empty school crisis is not shared equally. Research overwhelmingly shows that school closures disproportionately impact students of color, especially Black students and those from poor families. A study in Chicago found that the vast majority of students affected by closures were Black and from low-income households. The new schools they were sent to were often no better, and they had to deal with new social circles and sometimes dangerous commutes. This raises a serious question. Are school closures just making existing inequalities in our education system even worse? While the challenge is huge, it's also sparking incredible innovation. So, what happens to these empty buildings? Instead of letting them become symbols of decay, communities are giving them new life. In Philadelphia, the former Bach Technical High School is now a vibrant hub for over 200 businesses and nonprofits. In Detroit, closed schools are being turned into community centers, offering free job placement for adults and programs for kids. We're seeing them become affordable housing, artist studios, and community gardens. At the same time, school districts are getting smarter. They're learning they have to proactively recruit and retain students, marketing their unique programs just like a business would. But the real solutions go even deeper, requiring collaboration between schools, city governments, and housing authorities. Policies that promote affordable housing can help families stay in their neighborhoods. And when consolidation is truly unavoidable, it has to be done thoughtfully. with real community input and a focus on making sure the receiving schools are fully prepared to help new students succeed. The empty school crisis is a complex issue with no easy fix. It forces us to look past the numbers and see the human stories. By understanding the demographic forces reshaping our cities and working together on creative, equitable solutions, we can turn this challenge into a chance to build stronger, more vibrant communities for all. Thanks for tuning in to G Fun Facts Online.